Hello YouTube! Today we are going on Fiverr and ask some sellers to create a deck built around the card Brash Taunter and see how they perform, how the deck is, and evaluate them. Let's get to it. The requirements that I'm gonna submit to the sellers are pretty simple. You have to build around Brash Taunter. It needs to be a standard deck with a sideboard, needs to be competitive, and at most 8 mythic wildcards. I'm gonna show you on screen what message I'm gonna send to them. Hello, I like playing MTG Arena and I would like a deck built around Brash Taunter. I have left only 8 mythic wildcards to build the deck, but I have plenty of other rarity wildcards. I would like a deck with sideboard to play in the standard ranked ladder of MTGA and rise to the top. Thank you, Andrea. Here we are on Fiverr. Now what we want to do is to search for MTG deck so we can see people that are gonna build decks for us. So we go here and we see it's gonna be build MTG decks. As you noticed before, I did a search in the past. There's a lot of commander decks like CDH, EDH, but there are also sellers that do not have the requirements of EDH deck, but this is any deck or like standard deck. So let's get to some seller and see what they offer. Here we have the first seller that will build a budget MTG deck. We have the 4 mythics constraint as a budget, so that might be good. In 1-day delivery for $5, you will build a deck using the cards you have and suggest order within your budget. So I think I'm going to order this gig and see what's going on. Let's click continue to pay. As you can see, Fiverr takes the $2 of service fee. Every Fiverr deal video tells you that, so I guess I need to tell you that. So let's order the deck now. Here the seller needs to know what cards do I have and what cards I don't, I assume. I'm just gonna paste the same message that we composed in here. Copy, paste, and start the first order. Here the second seller will build a Magic Gathering deck list tailored around any card. This is exactly what we want to do, since we want to build a deck around Brash Taunter. And it's gonna have 2 days delivery, 2 revision, and needs to be standard legal deck. So let's order this one. So here the seller asks for the name of the card and any direction they would like the deck to go in. I'm just gonna paste this in the description, the same requirements that we had for all the other ones, and we start the order. This is the last Fiverr seller for $5, then we're going to get more expensive. This for $5 is gonna build budget deck for any format. It has 9 reviews with 5 stars, so that's a really good sign. And here it's like let me know price range if there is any specific cards you want to build it around for $5. We can pay $10 for the commander EDH, or this is like let me know what price range for the cube, but we just want a standard deck. So let's continue with the standard deck for $5. This seller is asking a lot of questions. Since we are on Arena, the price range is gonna be 8 mythic wildcards. The deck idea or color of the deck, we just paste our description. The deck format is we add standard MTGA ranked. Did you choose the commander deck as your format? No. And prefer website to order or use price for cards? Not available. I think we filled up everything correctly. And let's start the order. Now we are bumping up the price to $10 for the deck. It's going to be a deck list, perfect MTG decks fit to your preferences. Feels like this is what we want. Let's see the other packages and see if we can upgrade our solution. Rule guide explaining the rules of all the cards in the deck. I don't think we need that. I think we need the rules, and MTG Arena reminds us of the rules. And what's the premium one? As a strategy guide. I feel like the deck should maybe play itself. I don't want to pay $20 extra for strategy guide, so let's just go for the basics. It's gonna be 3 days with 1 revision. We can add $5 extra for alternate deck, for alternate documents, for extra 1 fast day delivery. We don't need that. Let's order now. This seller also has a lot of questions, so let's try to answer all of them. Budget limit, 8 mythic wildcards for standard. Color, I don't really know what. Red, and I'm just gonna add all of them and see what that happens. Card types, card subtypes, card ability keywords optional, specific cards, Brash Taunter. An extra request, just paste our own message. Let's click the checkbox and start the order. The most expensive one that I found is not Commander. It's $25 order details, MTG card deck with strategy. Let's click continue. Shipping options? I just want like a deck list. Looks like we're gonna get paid shipping for a deck list. Wait, let me read the description a bit better. A deck built for your strategy typed out on paper. Are they going to like email me a physical letter with a deck list? Being put into your deck, ink, shipping, and the packaging. Yeah, I feel like this is not what we want. That's it for the orders. We put in 5 orders or 4, I don't remember exactly. And we will let them send us some deck lists. Hopefully they're gonna be good. The next time you're gonna see me, we're gonna have all of the orders in, and we're gonna discuss them and judge them based on some factors such as the competitive deck, creativity, and how fun it is. And we're also gonna play some of them during my streams on Twitch and see how they perform. See you in a couple of days.
3 weeks later.
And here we are 2 weeks later. I have new haircut, I trimmed my beard, and we have a new camera. And we finally have the deck list for the Fiverr guys, and I played through them. Let's see the results. We received the first deck list by Dead Gamer a day after. He gives us 2 files. Let's see what's on these files. The first file contains a nice clean MTG Arena deck list, easy to import. The second file contains a description of what each card does and what the deck and how the deck is supposed to play. Let's import the deck list on Arena and see how the deck looks like. The deck looks pretty nice. There is a lot of synergy between like True Fire Captain. There's another effect similar to Brash Taunter. Control elements as per Conquer That. Storm Rat also combos with these two. Clarion as well. Some nice removal that we can target our own creatures too. Also Gideon Sacrifice is a good spell that we can target our own creatures, so all of the damage that is gonna be dealt to Gideon Sacrifice is gonna be redirected to either True Fire Captain or Brash Taunter. The deck list looks really solid and really well thought of. In the sideboard we have nice cards like 2 offs, 3 offs based on the metagame. I really like the sideboard. A card that I would maybe add to this deck is Birth of Meletis. I think that card will slot well in the 2-drop and is gonna give us some ramp to our 5-drops. Let's jump into the queues and see how the deck performs. As you can see in the gameplay, Storm Rat is a really good card to clean up all of the mess that our opponent deck does. I feel like it's a really good strong card in the metagame. Also, Storm's Rat combos well with Storm Wild Captor by growing it up and attacking our opponent or opponent Planeswalker in this case. And looks like our opponent is giving up here, so our Storm Wild Captor is really big. Time to give the grace to this submission. I'm gonna give the seller score a 5 because it's really fast and really good communication. Before playing the games, the deck I give it 5, it looks pretty solid. Just the Birth of Meletis maybe should have been added to the deck, but it looks pretty solid. I'm going to give the post gameplay grade to 3.5 feel like it's pretty solid, but there is a lot of room of improvement, especially in the current meta game. I think it can be improved for a bit. This gives us the total of 13.5. Let's see the deck for the next seller. The second seller, Hindenburger, gave us the deck in less than 3 hours after the submission. They gave us a tappedout.net link to the deck list. Let's click and see the deck. Here we have a deck list with some description on how to play the deck. Let's import it on Arena and look at the deck. Here we have the final product of Hindenburger. Looks like a Genesis Ultimatum deck. I would have rather seen 4 of each piece of the combo, like 4 Genesis Ultimatum, Fire Emancipation, Chandra, and Brash Taunter. Also, the deck looks like a lot of air without the combo pieces. And the mana curve is pretty awkward. Here we have a 3x sideboard for any card, assume some fight cards against creature decks, negate against control, peace against creature decks, against creature decks, and against graveyard decks. Let's jump into the queues. With Genesis Ultimatum we can grab our pieces of the combo. Even though we will just grab one, we had one piece on the board, and this is enough to stabilize and have the opponent concede the game. Sometimes we have to abuse our Brash Taunter to beat the opponent. Just let's put some removal spells on the Brash Taunter, Chandra, -6 on it, and deal lethal damage to our opponent. Sometimes Genesis Ultimatum could not be the best. Here we just grab one piece of the combo, we have nothing of other pieces of the combo, and we are playing against elementals, so Chandra is not great. We can have Brash Taunter fight our opponent's big creatures to deal damage to them. And here we have our opponent conceding because of our Brash Taunter. So what do I think about this deck? How do we grade it? So as a seller score, I will give them a 5. This is comprised of a 4 because tappedout.net is not the best website to export to Arena, and 1 extra bonus point for the first one to deliver the product. The deck pre-game rating I give it a 3.5. It's missing some cards to be like full combo, and there is a lot of dead air. After playing the deck, I felt really hard to win with this deck, so I will give the post-game play rate to a 2. This will bring a total score of 10.5. This is the last 5 or like $7 with the fee with the deck list. It's from Austin F. There was a long conversation of him telling me that he was working on the deck without any advice, but he delivered on time. His delivery due date was pretty late, but in the end we received the deck list. Here we have the deck list. It's not in Arena format, but they gave us a tappedout.net URL. Let's go there and check out the deck list. Here we have the tappedout deck list. It's divided by type, like land, board wipes, goblins, the main combo, ramp, and other things. Let's import it on Arena and look at it. And here we have the deck. As we can see, it's like the Stormwrath Brash Taunter with like Deafening Clarion and Solar Blaze, so it's like similar to the Boros deck we saw before. And an interesting addition is Luca. I feel like it's a good option to go from your small drops to a Brash Taunter. One thing that doesn't convince me is that we have some aggro goblins with a lot of control elements and only one Fiery Emancipation on top. Another thing that doesn't convince me is the Ironcrag feat. We ramp to 7 mana, but we have only like 5 mana spells and then only one 6 mana spell. So I'm not sure about this Ironcrag feat. Since we have aggro control decklist with like goblins and rats, I would like to have seen the sideboard to be more transformational. So you can like switch to like a full-on aggro deck or a full-on control deck depending on the situation. But let's jump into some games and see how the deck performs. Here we are against Mono Green, a Stormwrath to clear up the board, and trigger Brash Taunter is pretty solid. Like part of the combo, but we don't have any goblins. Here we can see like a more like aggressive draw where we are in the goblin plan, and Gideon Sacrifice can be a really nice combat trick. And here just like let's go goblin aggro and win the game. Here we have a favorable attack, and our opponent blocks make us rat their board with our goblins. And a Brash Taunter in the end to just like stem any bleeding and attack for lethal, or almost lethal. Here we can clear the board and win, but opponent concedes before that. Yeah, also the rats are pretty good. We lose our goblin plan, but opponent loses their creature plan. It's grading time. What do we give Austin F for the deck? The seller score I'm gonna give a 4. It took a while to get the deck list, and I never got like any like real update about the deck. The pre-game rating of the deck I give a 2. It was kind of a mess. It was like goblins and control, and also the sideboard didn't feel like fitting. The same grade of 2 goes for the after gameplay rate. This gives us a final score of 8. Now we are going to see what $10 give us. Sadly, the seller that were giving us a deck list for $12 never responded to us. We tried to ping them, we tried to resolve the issues, and nothing ever happened. Fiverr refunded us everything, so we're gonna use those $12 that we saved or we didn't spend for some other videos maybe in the future. Thanks for sticking me to the video until this point. I know the video is a bit long, but thanks. So what do we learn about this experience? The Fiverr experience was not the best. Out of the 5 attempts that we did to get a deck list, we get only 3 back. The deck list, I think they are fine, but they are not the most broken deck list you can see. I'm going now to put the final grades on screen. What deck did you guys like the best? I personally like the Boros control more than all the other 2, but I feel like all of the decks were pretty fun to play even though they were not performing the best. If you want me to make more Fiverr videos in the future, please let me know in the comment down below. As a reminder, I stream on Twitch on Tuesday and Thursday at 7 PM Pacific time. If you want to check out some Magic content, just stop by my stream. If you like the video, please leave a like. Also click subscribe, it's gonna help a lot growing the channel and keep the content coming. Thanks everyone for watching, I will see you next time.